Josh, that 98 minutes seemed to have everything, and I know you said to me before this match that you guys believed you could do it. Yeah. You certainly, I think, proved an awful lot of people wrong today.
Yeah, that was, I think, the complete performance from everyone out there. From the goalie to the defenders to midfield to the attackers. I think it was a joint effort, and the fans as well. It was amazing. The
timing of those goals couldn't have been better. What was going through your mind?
The first one, I think I was through. I don't know how I was through. I thought I was in the back line. I was a bit too high, I think. So if I didn't get the ball, if I didn't get the ball, I maybe got shouted at. But no, I put it away, and then I knew I was onside from the header. But that doubt with the VAR check let my heart go a wee bit. But no, I knew it was fine.
Inevitably what happens in these types of games is teams go forward and go ahead, but then Celtic inevitably usually come back into it. Did you get the sense that something was a wee bit different today?
Look, we knew, like I said before the game, that they had a midweek game against a very, very good opponent and they could be tired. And obviously the 2 goals we got before half time, we knew there was going to be changes. The 3 players that come on are brilliant players, that they're going to throw everything at it, and they did. But we stuck into the end there.
1 win in 24 against Celtic. We can hear and see what it means to you guys as players, but also to the supporters as well.
Yeah, look, you don't hear that song very often out there. As I said, for the big results like that, when that song comes on, the fans get to hear it, and there's players there that have not heard it yet, but that's the best song in football for me.
You were bottom of the table not too long ago, a few months ago. Now we're sitting in February and you're pushing for third. Tell me about this team and what is so different about them, and what it is, this sort of special ingredient.
Look, it's so hard to say. Like, no one expected the start that we had. Not me especially. I thought with a new manager coming in that everyone's worked with, I thought it was going to be amazing. And this is what I thought it would be like at the start, and it just wasn't. But as I said, we just couldn't put a finger on it. But now we've turned it right around, and we just keep looking up that table for the next jump in the next place in the league.
Well, you are the player of the match for this one. Congratulations, Josh. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
So Josh Campbell, 2 goals for him today, and as a result, Hibs have moved up to 4th in the table. They are now level on points with Dundee United, who, albeit, do play later on. Well, 3 o'clock kickoff against Motherwell. Celtic, their lead at the top of the table, still 13 points, although that could be 10 if Rangers can get victory. They host St Mirren today in a 3 o'clock kick-off. Well, the sunshine is well and truly out here at Leith. The rain from half-time has gone, but this the moment that put Hibs ahead to make it 1-0. And Josh Campbell also had the final say at the end of the first half as he added a second. Hibs were able to hold on to that lead. They got the victory. More reaction next. Here, though, it has finished Hibs 2, Celtic 1. We spoke at half-time, didn't we, just about how impressive Hibs had been in that first 45 and how we expected a reaction from Celtic in the second half. That did come, the 3 substitutions, but full credit to Hibs for seeing that game through, Marvin, because they came under pressure at the end. It took some last gasp defending at times, but they managed to get the job done.
Yeah, exactly that. The players, and David who's there now, would have known that the players are going to come under pressure in the second half. There's no chance you beat Celtic Football Club without coming under that sort of pressure. That's one of the best teams in the country. But the way Hibs stood up to it was fantastic. Like we said, they got the 2 goals, gave them something to hang on to, and then the way the team defended after that was absolutely brilliant, Emma. No surprise at all.
Absolutely, and here is the Hibs manager. Congratulations, David. Come on in. Come on in, we've got a desk and everything today for you. Come on in. Congratulations, a fine result for your club. How pleased are you, first and foremost?
I'm delighted for everyone involved. It's said before the game how hard a challenge it was going to be, and we needed every player to be absolutely at their best and give everything today, and I think every single player to a man done that. I'm delighted for them for all the hard work and effort. This is a really good Celtic side. We knew the challenge we were going to face, but I thought in the end deserved the win in the end, which was great.
And as far as starts go, I would imagine that's pretty much what you had written down on paper. Ideal.
Yeah, certainly better than the last 3 starts we had against Celtic. We found ourselves 1-0 down within 5 minutes every time. So, yes, definitely started a lot better. We're more clinical today, so we didn't have as many chances as we did at Celtic Park in the last fixture, but we were more clinical when they came around, which was really good. And then defensively we needed to be solid, which we were, so delighted with that.
David, you were really aggressive at the start of the game, as Emma says. Is that something that you kind of picked up on with them playing on Tuesday night? You thought you could really get at the defence right from the word go?
Yeah, I think when you're at home as well, you want to try and get the momentum behind you and get the crowd right behind you. Obviously, we're playing Kieran up front. He loves that physical battle and loves to get involved in that, so we wanted to try and play on that as much as we could as well. We've got good energy in the middle of the pitch and good legs in the middle of the pitch that could get up to the ball, so we tried to get a fast start. Everything you want to happen in the game started, the start of a game happened, which was really pleasing from our point of view.
Josh Campbell, a player I want to speak to you about, because you took him out of the team. He was getting a lot of flack from the fans. He came back. How good is it to see him performing like this? Not only the 2 goals, but the way he worked today.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. That's what Josh is all about. His legs, his endeavour. Obviously loves the football club as well. You know, a really special moment for him. For personally, I'm delighted for him. He did have a bit of a tough time at times this season when he did come out of the team, but he's reacted in exactly the way you want any player to react, which is when you come out to work hard, work on the areas, and then I think he's came back in and really kicked on. I think the change of shape in where he plays at the minute is really helping him as well, and it's really showing off his key asset, which is that running power and getting into the box, and then he's adding goals to that as well, which is really pleasing for everyone.
And so I was just going to say before you asked that question, Kieran Bowie is like a new signing for you, isn't he? He's had such a hard time with injuries, but in flashes today you can see exactly what he brings to this side.
He definitely does. You know, I can only imagine trying to play against him would be difficult because he really enjoys that battle. He ran out of steam today, which we knew he would because of the amount of effort he put into it. But it is great to bring him back. It's something we talked a lot about in the transfer window. You know, knowing that the players we've got to come back to strengthen the squad. So you got the likes of him coming back, Marvin coming back, Joe coming back. You know, we are early going to be close to coming back. We've got a lot of players getting back to fitness now to really give us a strong squad to finish the season with. So I'm delighted with where we are just now.
Was it heart in the mouth moment when the second Celtic goal went in? I mean, we were struggling to see it from where we were standing, but how did you see it from your side? Very
much so. I think I'm delighted the groundsman painted the line in a straight line this morning and the pitch is the size it is because it must be really close. You know, obviously I can joke about it now and smile back on it, but these are the breaks you need as well. You know, that's very fine margins at this level. And on another day, he gets a fraction earlier and the ball stays in. So, you know, and we could obviously defend it a lot better in that moment as well. But I think we needed that little bit of luck. And you do need to carry a little bit of luck as well when you're playing against teams like Celtic. So, all in all, delighted for everyone.
What does it say about your squad? I mean, have you set them almost small targets within this unbeaten run? It's now 13 games. But, you know, I asked Alan before the game, what would it say, you know, about the Hibs players if they could go and take it even further today? From your perspective, did you always know that this performance was in them? You know, is there more to come even from these players? Yeah,
there's definitely more to come. I think we've always said, you know, when you think back to the start we made and how poor a start it was and the position we found ourselves in, we knew we needed to turn it round. I wouldn't be sitting and say we needed to win a game thinking we're going to go on 13 undefeated from that point of view. It was always one game at a time, and I know that sounds very cliche, but it was because of where we were in the league. But the more and more we've been going, the more momentum we've been building, the confidence is there, the players, you see them running today, how hard they're running at the moment, they're all running for each other, and that's the biggest thing, the confidence, the momentum, the togetherness within the squad. And they're in a really good place right now, and full credit goes to them for sticking together during the difficult time. My staff sticking together, everyone behind the scenes and above, working as hard as we can, knowing we would turn it around given the time, and I'm delighted we managed to do that.
Is this one for Eddie today?
Eddie today, yeah, and the Gordon family as well. You know, even at the very end, you see sunshine on leaf. Doesn't happen very often here. And all the time I've been here at the club, it's a very special moment when you get to hear that song at the end of the game. Marv, you've been fortunate enough to hear it as well when you've been here as a player. It's a very special day. 2 years since the passing of Ron. Another thing, I'm sure he'll be looking down, very proud of what he's seen today. And Eddie sitting on the couch on the phone during the game today, probably watching it maybe 30 seconds behind or whatever, panicking what's going on. So no, listen, delighted for everyone, and we move on to the next one that we need to recover quickly because this is obviously a massive 3 points today, but full focus now changes and turns towards Dundee United because we've got 3 big games this week, so we need to recover quickly.
A huge game during the week, but enjoy this.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks
very much.
Well,
David Craig, Hibs manager there, yeah, and I'm sure they will enjoy it, won't they, this one? Well, the fans, you can hear them, they're congregated behind the cameras here, they're enjoying it.
I wish you could pan it round so you can see them all, because there was a lot.
There are a lot, but you know, you have to, he's had a hard season, a really hard opening to the season, you know. How close, we don't know, to you know, maybe being relieved of his duties at one point, because there was a lot of speculation, wasn't there, around his position. He has to enjoy moments like this.
Oh, he has to, you know, and he's saying all the right things there about the players, how hard they've worked, but he's worked extremely hard as well. And like you said, it's an extremely difficult job, you know, when you're going through those difficult periods, and Dave's been through that now. You know, be a better manager coming out the other side, but yeah, like you said, the 13 games unbeaten run has been fantastic. Top today. He needs to go back there, he needs to enjoy this. I'm sure he will. And then, like you said, then it's full focus to Wednesday when they play Dundee United.
Right, well, that's the view of David Gray just a second ago. Let's get the views now of Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers, because he too is now with Connie.
Brendan, a ferocious 98 minutes. From a Celtic perspective, I guess the big talking point is the goal that wasn't. Have you had a chance to see it, and if so, what was your take on it?
Well, my take is the official Alan Muir's had a guess at it, because the linesman arguably has the best view in the stadium, and he doesn't give it. So for that to get overturned, then I'm assuming there's an absolute clear image of the ball being out of play. And my experience up here with VAR is that you don't have all the angles. They don't have the equipment to say it's conclusively out. So you're actually viewing it from a secondary position, which is a higher position. And at that point, you're then having a guess. So that's the huge disappointment. The linesman didn't put his flag up. It was the first thing I went to when I looked at when the goal went in. So we're hugely disappointed in that.
I think we're hearing it's been called a factual overturn by Alan Muir, saying that from their point of view, they're following that protocol. So from your perspective then, is it a process thing that needs to be changed for a level of consistency to make sure, I guess, situations like that don't happen?
No, I think it's obviously it's having the right equipment to also make a factual, because you don't have the right level of equipment. I think you're a camera down that you can't see the byline. Everything is either from an aerial view or one behind. So yeah, and I just think, like I said, the linesman's moving really well with the game, and he doesn't give it. And as I said, that was a big call.
Does that cost you the game potentially? Because at that point the momentum was still very much with Celtic, and it sort of shifted slightly after that.
Yeah, well, I think there's two things. Listen, I can't deny that we get the goal, then they get the equaliser. We're really pushing in the second half. We're much better, but I also have to be honest as well. We made an awful start to the game to go down in the game, and in the first half, our level was not good enough. And that's, this team don't have many days like that. But certainly we were that in the first half. Two really poor goals. Second half we were much more like ourselves. And like I say, that we get that goal, then it brings a great finish to the game for us.
Has midweek had a bigger impact, do you think, today than you maybe anticipated?
No, it's not an excuse. We've dealt well with it all season. It was always going to be a tough place to come, but that's not an excuse, no.
3 changes obviously you made at half time. Those 3 changes, I guess, reverted to that team from Munich. What does this tell you, I guess, about the depth and squad that you have right now, and I suppose how difficult that can be whenever you've so many, you're sort of playing so many different fronts?
Yeah, listen, I don't want to be too critical of the players, because they've been absolutely brilliant, and we deserve something from the game today. There's no doubt about that. The ability to bring these guys into the game. Obviously, Jeff hasn't played a great deal, so we're trying to manage his minutes. Jota the same, hasn't played a lot of football, and obviously, those guys were having to look at Rio Watati as well, playing lots of minutes, lots of games. So, but certainly they made the difference when they came into the game.
Appreciate your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Brendan Rodgers there. Very strong, Neil, on that line that, in his opinion, the assistant referee on the near side line had the best view, and he didn't seem to think there was an issue. He was happy for the goal to stand, yet VAR intervened. How would you be feeling if you were the Celtic manager?
If I was Brendan,
yeah.
I'd be raging. Because when I saw it again on the action replay, for me it was inconclusive whether the whole of the ball had gone over the line. And for me, the linesman's right there, he's got the best view of it, the referee's given it. So VAR have interfered, and I'm still not convinced that the whole of the ball has gone over the line. So I can imagine the frustration.
Yeah, let's have a look at it here then.
Yeah, I mean, Engels checks back. I mean, he does overhit the pass a little bit, but Johnson does brilliant. You think he's not going to make it, but he does. He does, and I'm not convinced the whole of the ball's gone out.
It's really difficult because here in Scotland we don't have, obviously, that goal line technology camera. So this here is the free, well, this is the angle from the 18.
It's so tight. It's very difficult for anybody to look at that in one shot and decide. When you see here, just Johnson does ever so well to get there, but even, I mean, how many times have we watched this? And it's still hard to.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm with Neil. When it first happened, I thought the ball must have been out, and then when I saw the replay, it's so difficult. Yeah, you need to slow down. But listen, if the VAR have overturned it, it must be factual. They must have an image that shows that the ball's clearly out. Personally, watching the replays at full speed, it's very, very difficult, which means you wouldn't have been able to turn it.
It's nice to see where it stopped.
Right,
like here.
It's so here,
right?
So right, but the ball's
roll it forward and we roll it forward, roll it forward, roll it forward. So at that point, can you decide? So VAR have.
I don't see daylight. Like I don't see anything between the ball and the line.
We had that in the World Cup, didn't we? When there's a ball would look like it was out, but it was actually overhanging the line when they actually.
Does that prove it? Does that prove it? I mean,
I don't think so.
the SFA have said that the guidance on this disallowed goal is that the VAR check was from the 18-yard line camera, which is this one, and showed that the ball had crossed the byline. So in their opinion, this is
so they've made
conclusive.
it from this
But
one
you know
here.
what? It's that tight that it's even from this angle, it's hard to see because his leg.
Yeah, his leg's in the way of it. I
You
don't
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
his foot ends up
So
outside the lane.
if it's
There.
up there,
Yeah.
it's still very difficult.
Don't get me wrong. Some of the ball is out of it,
Yeah.
but as long as some of the ball is on that line,
Then it's
you,
in play.
Then you play
Yeah.
on. So, listen, someone's made a big call.
Yeah, I guess unless the camera is absolutely in line, like on the byline, you can't.
Yeah, it's
you can't.
difficult.
Yeah, it's really, really
It's difficult.
decision.
They've made
And it's
that.
probably difficult for the linesman as well
Yeah.
to make that call, like because
And it's
he's
happened so
looking
quick.
at it that way.
Yeah.
And Johnson's sort of blocking him a little bit. But for me, it was inconclusive, Emma.
That said, did Hibs deserve to win the game, in your opinion?
Yeah, listen, I think the way they started the game, I thought was absolutely fantastic. And in the second half, they stood up to Celtic. Celtic always come to the game of football, like I spoke about. David Gray spoke about a little bit of luck you need. Maybe that was it there. But for all the possession that Celtic had in the final third, I don't think they really peppered, Smith in goal. I think that'd be the one thing that disappointed Brendan Rodgers. They had a lot of play, a lot of the balls were overhit, a lot of things were getting intercepted. I just felt that, they probably should have been better in front of goal, and yeah, Hibs got the luck, and I'm always going to say they deserved it.
But I think in the second half, though, there was a lot of fight, a lot of spirit and desire
Yeah.
to put their body on the line and make blocks. Celtic are going to come out in the second half and really go for it. Brendan made the changes that made a difference. Jota was really good on that, out in the wing, and he's going to come in and make things happen. But you have to stand up to that, and they've done that. So
For me, it's
that
a
reason, I
different
think
Hibs
it deserves
team,
it.
well, from the start of
Absolutely.
even the first part of the season. They would have buckled
Yeah.
today and lost maybe 3 or 4. But there's newfound belief in themselves. There's a confidence. There was an organisation about them. Their high line was great. I mean, I don't know how many times Celtic got caught offside first half. But, there was a connection between them all as a group. And they got 2 great goals as well, I have to say. I mean, the second one, Campbell's done brilliantly to reach for it and head it back in.
Yeah, so it is Hibs who have taken all 3 points from this one here in Edinburgh, winning by 2-1. But this continues to be such a huge talking point. Celtic thought they'd equalise. It was disallowed for the ball crossing the byline. More analysis and reaction is coming next. Welcome back to Easter Road, where Hibs have beaten Celtic by 2-1. And while we were just talking about the disallowed goal there from Celtic's perspective, which would have made it 2-2, you have to say, Neil, it was a brilliant advert for Scottish football, this one today.
I loved it. It's not often Celtic get really tested, and they got a real test today. And I have to say, the way Hibs approached the game, they've done their homework on Celtic. They made it very difficult for them to have any fluidity through the lines and the midfield. Their back line was great the first half. I don't know how many times Celtic were caught offside. And they scored 2 fantastically worked goals, I have to say. So credit to David. The upturn in Hibs' fortunes has been remarkable. And they're right on the brink of European football now. They have to maintain it. But they matched Celtic today. In the physical duels, I thought they were good. They were really up for it. And then you always expect Celtic to come back. And their resolve was really tested today. And I thought the second half was a great watch. Could Celtic get the goal, which they did, and then could they go and, nick a point or even win it? But Hibs just weren't having it today, and I thought they defended brilliantly, which, has been a big question mark over them this season.
Yeah, there certainly has been. At the other end, it was Josh Campbell that gave them the lead. Less than 2 minutes on the clock in this one. And they capitalised on Celtic's defence being stretched. But, it was a great pass and a great finish for the goal.
Yeah, it's brilliant play from Hibs all round. Like you say, Trusty probably shouldn't get pulled into that area. But Josh Campbell, he's not a normal number 10 because, Emmy, you normally associate a number 10 being very technically good. And I'm not being disrespectful. He's a powerful runner. This is what he's in there to do. Just to make forward runs, can he get on the end of things? And he does ever so well. But the reverse ball there, the vision to do it, good first touch from Josh, and he puts it into a corner.
I think you always need runners to get beyond.
That's what me and you made it.
All right.
You lost your flow now.
Yeah, but see, no, of course not. But see, before that, I just think as a centre half, there's no really any need to really go out there. Can you pass them on and then stay in your slot, and then it doesn't really happen? But it's a really well worked goal from Hibs' point of view.
Yeah, that was right at the start of the first half. Right at the end of the first half, Josh Campbell added the second goal, and there was a question mark over offside in this. It went up to VAR, but adjudged to be onside. And Neil, a really, really good header from Josh Campbell.
Oh, it's a great goal. You know, Hibs working wide to Cannon, and then he checks inside. Boiler just slips out wide. They don't stop the cross, Celtic, and it's floated in. Casper thinks about coming, then he doesn't. But then Josh has to really, lean back and punch the header back across goal. I think it's a brilliant header. And he's onside. We've seen on VAR that he is in line. And it was a brilliantly worked goal again. And I always think, Marv, I don't know about you, when Boyle's in the mood, Hibs are a far superior team than...
He's vital to them, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's vital.
I thought he was really hungry today.
Yeah, and listen, he's wearing the captain's armband as well with Joe Newell being out, and he's putting on captain's performance. He's really taking it in his stride. He works ever so hard. He's out wide there. He's putting it across to Josh Campbell, and listen, the boy's absolutely delighted. As David said, he went for a really hard time. He came out of the team. He's a local lad. He loves the club, and see just how much it means to him there.
But it's a brilliant header because it's a good cross, but it's quite high.
It's floaty.
Yeah. So to get that power back on it, to get it back across the goal.
How's he free though from Celtic's point of view? How's he free in the middle of
I just thought defensively at times they looked a bit shaky, especially in the first half. I thought they were a little bit open. There was gaps and you don't normally see that.
They come up against, I think it was you talking about it at half time. They don't normally come up against two strikers.
Yeah.
And Bowie was a real handful for the 60 minutes he was on. And they really pressed Celtic when they could and made life really difficult for them. And they got their just rewards, but it wasn't just about the front two. I just thought as a unit, as an 11, they were excellent today.
Well, we'll now watch with interest what happens in the 3 o'clock kick-off today. And it's a big, big game for Hibs at Tannadice on Wednesday when they go there to take on Dundee United. Thank you very much as always for your company, gentlemen, and thanks to you for watching. 3 points for Hibs today. It's now 13 matches unbeaten for David Gray's side. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.